Good evening, this is James Cook, and we're here together for another week of undergraduate social networks, CommSoc 375 at the University of Maine at Augusta. Now, I want to give you a bit of news if you're a registered student in the course. I've changed homework assignment number 11. I was going to have you collect Ego Network information using Google Scholar on academic publications, but as I went through the assignment myself, I realized that the workload that would come out of developing a 2.0 level Ego network of co-authorship was almost inevitably a huge task with an incredible number of nodes, and I felt that was too onerous. Also, it's almost election day, and I decided to go a little bit topical. Hopefully you'll enjoy this assignment whether you enjoy politics or not. Let's go to the online syllabus at umasocialmedia.com/social networks. Here's the syllabus right here under student links, and I am going to look for the new homework number 11. This is described as still due by 11:59 p.m. on Monday, November 5th. This is election eve. I'd like you to use Google's blog search at blogsearch.google.com. I want you to find a blog post written during the last 7 days on the subject of the election. That blog post is going to have a main body. A blog is short for weblog, and it is a kind of a web page that you can find at blogsearch.google.com. I want the main body of that blog post, and I'll show you what a main body looks like, to have at least 5 web links to other web pages. And from that relation, that is a link from one web page to another, I want you to generate an ego network. Every step you take, looking at egos and alters, I want the tie to be the same. A link in the main body of the post. Then I'd like you to create some sociograms to describe the 1.0 level network, the 1.5 level ego network, and the 2.0 level ego network. I want you to use color, shape, and labeling choices to find meaningful patterns, which is something you've done before, and I want you to explain any patterns that you find. Now, number 4 is really important. I want you to explain how it was that you came to choose the blog post you did strategically, so that you didn't have too much work, and so that you had enough of something to go on. How do those choices relate to the issues of snowball sampling, which is in Lecture 9, and also boundary specification? If any of the terms that I've used are unclear to you, go back to Lecture 9 and look for the discussion of levels of an ego network. Look for the discussion of snowball sampling and make sure you have them nailed down before you try this assignment. But I'm going to try it right now. I'm going to go to blogsearch.google.com and I'm going to enter election 2012. Okay, so I have a lot of results here. And I typically like to avoid anything above that line because it strikes me as sponsored or something like that. So I'm going to look here. A FAQ. Oh my goodness. Okay, what do I see right here? Way too many links. You see those hyperlinks right here to other web pages? Too many of them. Far too many. It's going to be too much work. No, I don't want to work with this, right? I'm going to try again. I'm going to go to the second result. What do I get? Picture of someone in a chair. Now I have here a sidebar. The sidebar says brand new on Raw Story, and then there's a whole bunch of links. But that's not the main body of the text. Similarly, up here, there's a whole bunch of, headlines and graphic elements and things like that. That's not the main body of the text. The main body of the text is what comes underneath the headline. Election 2012, desperate struggle for women's votes as race enters final stretch. Now let's see. So I'm going to read that main body, and I'm looking for links. I'm looking for links. Looking for links. And I'm not finding any links. So this is the opposite problem of what I faced before. So I'm headed back to those results. I'm going to look at number 3. Okay, this is within the last 7 days, so it qualifies. I see 2 links here. Okay, in the main body. Again, I'm ignoring the sidebars and all the ads and things like that. I'm just looking for links in the text. I see 3, I see 4, see some videos, which I'm going to ignore, 5, 6, 7. Excellent. Although I notice Bing elections, that's the same. Google elections. I understand now. Those are different. That's good. They're competitors. I have 7 links. What am I going to do? I'm going to head over and what's this called? This is Mashable. Okay, one-stop shop. Okay, I'm going to enter that under Edges. One stop. That's just the name I'm going to give it. Mashable one stop. It's short. It'll be able to fit over in my graphic area. Now I'm going to start entering edge data. Okay, so clearly this is Mashable. It's a topic for Microsoft. Okay, and a topic for Mashable topic Bing. Mashable topic Microsoft and Mashable topic Bing. Where'd that Microsoft go? I don't have a wide enough column. To widen my column, I hover over until I get that little tiny line, and then I simply drag it over. Okay, I hover over, I click, left click, and drag. And now I can get a more full result. Okay, so I'm now building my 1.0 level ego network. What else have I got here? I've got Twitter. Mashable.com tag Twitter. Okay. Mashable tag Twitter. Okay. And I know that I'm going to have a few more. Mashable one stop. Mashable category Facebook. I don't know what the difference is between a topic, a tag, and a category on Mashable, but I'm going to go with what I see there in the links. By the way, where am I seeing it? I'm seeing it down at the bottom, right? It pops up. Mashable category Google. Now this is the first time we have something out of Mashable, right? Google elections. And Bing elections. Okay, now if I wanted to, I could stop here, I could show graph, and by the way, here's a trick. When you do this, when you enter edges, I think it's going to populate in the vertices tab over here. Let's find out. Okay, great. I know I have some nodes, and yes, they've all, if I want to select and drag on that line, yep, there are the names of my vertices. It's nice, it's automatic. That's sweet. Okay, I can worry about visualization later. I have some more edges to enter. I'm going to go back to the top, and now I'm going to right-click and open in new tab. So I can save my old website and go back to it while looking over here. Okay, what have I got? Okay, this looks like some articles, but this is the main body of the text. So what am I going to find here? I'm going to find Microsoft. So this is from Mashable topic Microsoft over to Microsoft website. I have a Bing website listed here. Oh, no. Mashable Bing Google search is what it's called. From Mashable topic Microsoft to something called Mashable Bing Google search. Again, pause this video if you don't see where I'm getting that information. I'm dragging over and then looking in the lower left-hand corner, the name of the URL pops up. In your browser, it may work a little differently. Everyone has a different browser these days, but it should do something like this. Okay, now over here is the third link, Mashable SOCL. I have no idea what that is. I'm curious. I'm going to look later, because right now I'm just going to finish my work. Mashable SOCL. Social? Is that social something? I don't know. But I'm done there. I've worked out from that altar. Now I'm going to go over to Mashable topic Bing. And here is, again, some articles, but I'm not going to focus on that. I'm focusing on the main body of the text. And there is no link coming from out there. Nothing for me to add. So I'm going to close that. I'm going to head down and I'm going to look at the Twitter. Okay, now I have a few links here. Here is... Now this is confusing. It's a tag, Twitter, www.twitter.com. I'm not exactly sure where that goes to, so I'm going to check it out. I want to see what happens. This appears to be a broken link. Now, what am I going to do with that broken link? I could do two things. I could make a guess about where it's going to go. Or I could just say, well, that link doesn't actually go anywhere. It doesn't satisfy the meaning of the word, of the relation, connects to a web page. It connects to this empty page. It's broken. I'm not going to count it. Okay, here's a Mashable history of Twitter timeline. So Mashable tag Twitter connects to Mashable history of Twitter. Are you noticing what I'm noticing about this blog post? Everything refers back to Mashable. They're trying to keep everything inside. Okay. And Mashable Twitter for beginners. Interesting stuff that I might want to read. Now we're going to move on to Mashable category Facebook. Okay, this may be slow for you. If it is, you can fast forward. If this is fast for you, aha, we've got a lot coming on here. If it's fast for you, you can always rewind and work again. Okay, here's a link to Facebook. Mashable category Facebook. And I've got a number of these, so I'm going to enter those all just to be efficient. And Facebook is the first link. The second link is Facebook IPO. Next one is Facebook IPO week. Facebook timeline coming. Facebook phone future. Facebook stock infographic. Facebook annoying. Annoying things your friends do on Facebook. Oh, some more. Facebook for beginners. Facebook timeline guide. Different than Facebook timeline coming. Facebook power users. Don't worry, I'll add that other node in the edge. And Facebook reach. Clearly, Mashable has devoted a little bit more interest okay, I have 3 more to go. They've put a little more energy into their Facebook category. Let's see what they do with Google, which is going to be the next link. Wouldn't be surprised to see if this is big too. Not as big as Facebook. Okay, so they link to Google About. Hold on, I'm going to make a number of these too. 4, 5, 6. Google About. Okay, then there is a Mashable category. YouTube. Google launches social search. Social search. How Google search works. Animated Google Doodles. I'll call that animated doodles. Facebook Timeline Brands Guide. And that's different than Facebook Timeline Guide above. And Google Doodles come from. I'll call that Where Google Doodles. So as you can see, this is taking me a little bit of time, but it's not so bad. Now we have Google Elections and Bing Elections. So I'm going to head down here, and I'm going to know that I'm going to have a few things in Google Elections, I imagine. So I'm going to give that a bit of space and make a few entries for both. Probably too many for Bing, but you never know. Google's election portal. Oh! Now that is a direct link. And there is no body of the text here. There is no blog. So what am I going to do here? Okay, I'm going to see if there's any... Is there anything that looks like a main body? No, not really. Okay, it's just a linked list. So I'm not going to treat, since this is not a blog page, I'm not going to treat this as something I have to link to. And would talk about that standard in the assignment, because I don't think it's the same kind of relation. Okay, now I'm looking at the Bing elections. And I see the same issue. I don't have a main body of text. So I'm not going to write down any of these links either. And I'm going to explain myself in the homework. So that means I don't have any links. Now, when I refresh, I'm going to restock the list of vertices. Whoa! Okay. I'm going to say, I think I need a slightly bigger image. So I am, again, hovering over the line till that arrow icon appears. And then I'm dragging it around. And I'm going to use the Herald Core and Fast Multiscale because I know it's a good spring embedding tool. Okay, so now I have a bit of structure. What could I do? I could head over to the vertices. I could turn these into labels. Probably when I do, I'll find out that they're too verbose, too wordy, as is typical. Let's find out what happens. Yeah, a bit too much. Maybe I want to abbreviate them. Maybe every time I talk about Mashable, I want to say M instead. That would be an interesting choice to make. I could think about that a little bit more. What else do I have here? Okay, let me refresh and get rid of the labels for the moment. I have some structure. What is the structure all about? Well, I have network distances, expanding rings to use the vocabulary of Lecture 9 and the imagery there in the snowball sample. Okay, and I have some numbers. I can do some counts. I could calculate a network density for an ego network, and I could talk about that as a pattern. I could look at the substance of what these pages are about. I could say, hey, every time I see the word Mashable, I'm going to make something be the color purple. Because that's a special kind of page, which is Mashable referring to itself. Unfortunately, what have I done? I haven't always written Mashable down. So now I have to do what? If I want to think about this carefully, because I know some of these were Mashable stories, I may want to go back and fix that if I want to use Mashable and a Mashable page as a criterion. You may have to go back to think about that carefully when you're making your decisions. Okay, but this is a step that you should be pretty familiar with at this point. You've gotten to the point of creating a sociogram before and working with the idea of how you can use shape, color, labeling, orientation on a graphic in order to highlight meaning. I'm looking forward to your results, and I suppose I should have them to look at on election day, which will be an interesting thing to do. Well, thanks very much for your time. Best of luck, and if you have any questions about this assignment, please get in touch with me as soon as possible so we can talk about it. Thank you.